Hello, YouTube. I'm Heidi Parkes, and I'm going to be talking about hand yoga today. In particular, this is a very highly requested episode on arthritis. Arthritis is something that affects a lot of quilters, and I'm a quilter as well. But it also affects a lot of people who are just aging and getting older. I am not a doctor. I'm certainly not your doctor. But I am a yoga therapist, a certified yoga therapist. And through that lens, my understanding of arthritis is that it is an ailment connected to an excess of vata. We've done other videos in the past about the 5 elements. Vata is connected to the air and ether or space elements. It is also connected to aging. So the earth and water elements are kapha. They're connected to childhood. Pitta is connected to midlife, and it's the fire element. And then vata, air, and ether are connected to old age. There is a drying that happens in the body. And if we can do things that help to counterbalance that, we can help to counterbalance things like dry skin, a lack of elasticity in the skin, as well as things like arthritis that typically happen with old age. One of my favorite tools for combating dryness, which is a core part of vata, is oil. And one of my favorite oils is from Banyan Botanicals. So here, this oil, it's an Ayurvedic company that I like to purchase from online sometimes. This is a vata massage oil. This is not going to increase vata. This is specifically intended to pacify vata. It says it's relaxing, warming, and grounding. Grounding is a very smart word choice. Grounding, of course, connects to the earth element. So it's balancing an excess of air by adding some earth to oneself. If you don't have a vata oil, you can use any warming oil like sesame oil, not toasted, just regular, or olive oil is a wonderful neutral oil to use. I would specifically caution you against using coconut or sunflower oil. Those are cooling, which can be drying and the opposite of what we want to achieve when it comes to arthritis. I'm going to put the smallest amount of oil in my hand. So just a couple of drops, and I'm going to begin to massage them in. I'm going to let that massaging in of the oil become an intuitive movement. There can be a lot of stickiness and aching in the joints, and we want to find a balance for that, and moving and flowing intuitively is very helpful. If we were to imagine the element of water and letting our hands flow and move naturally like water, that would be a wonderful way to invite that energy that's going to pacify the vata that might be in our hands. So at first, I'm in a very practical sense massaging the oil in, but then I want to extend that movement into following my intuition, keeping my hands moving and flowing, and finding different types of massage that feel good. So I might begin to focus on my fingers, massaging the inside of the fingers with my thumb. And then, of course, considering repeating things on the other side, looking to find balance between the left and the right hands. I can also massage one finger at a time, just gently gliding across that finger. But I would encourage you, more than following what I'm doing in particular, start to listen to your own internal voice, to follow your own intuition around what feels good. Just trying to keep a flow and a smoothness like water in your hands as you massage them. You can start to connect with your breath as well, maybe noticing how it feels to breathe here. You can do this movement as long as you'd like, but we're going to keep moving on to the next concept here. We want to avoid a stickiness in the joints. So motion is lotion. What we've just done for the outside of our hands, we want to do for the inside. And here we can purposefully move the joints up and down at that big joint. I'm not moving my thumb here, just focused for the moment on the fingers. You can move at any speed that feels good, but consider if you naturally were moving faster, try out slower. If you were naturally moving slower, see if fast can feel good. And now I'm going to shift to that next big joint in my hands, moving my fingers up and down, hoping to have them feel like they're gliding smoothly. Now, only you know how it feels in your body. I want to remind you that yoga should never, ever hurt. So if something about this is feeling painful, see what could be a gentler version of it, or maybe skip this particular movement. If you're not doing it physically, you can practice the movement mentally. You can picture yourself moving your hands in any way that they're not moving. And that is a really, truly, deeply powerful way to engage your hands. It helps fire the neurons that connect to those hands. And in time, it can have vast improvements. The next movement that I'd like to do is for the thumb. And we can begin by gently massaging this webbed space in between the thumb and the index. So I still have some nice oil on my hands. I can glide my thumb, my fingers. I can even reverse sides. And if I start to notice a spot that feels particularly tender or tight or stiff, I can let my hands linger there. So I might press and hold. And then I can work with my breath to release the stiffness, tightness, stagnancy that might be in that hand or joint. I can inhale through my nose and exhale through the mouth. Together we'll take a couple breaths. And then I can release, maybe massage my fingers in a circle around that spot. I can continue in that webbed space, or I can move on to the next hand, remembering to try out having my thumb both on the outside of the hand, and then later to flip to having it on the inside. One of the wonderful things about this is it's a massage for both hands. Even though this left hand of mine is the one giving the massage, it's also moving my hands intuitively, bending at the joints, doing things that are hopefully lubricating and creating motion in the hands. If that type of thing, it's a little too active, if you were picturing it in your mind's eye, another thing that you can do is to just simply keep your hands clasped more frequently or touch your hands together more. Sparsa mudra is a mudra for laying your hands on any part of your body and sending healing there. Your attention automatically goes wherever your hand or someone else's hand is touching. If someone were to come over and put their hand on my shoulder, I would immediately be very, very aware of that, both in my mind and in my body. And that's going to increase blood flow. So if you are simply holding your hands together in a subconscious way, that sends energy, attention, awareness of your body to your hands. It increases the circulation and allows you to have more blood flow and healing in your hands. This was the first concept that I learned when I began doing my yoga therapy training. I was studying in 2014 and I learned from Indu Arora. Her website is Yog Sadhana. And she said to us students, Dristi Manaha Prana. So where your gaze, where your awareness goes, where your gaze goes, your gaze is Dristi. Manaha, awareness, follows, and then prana or energy follows. So simply keeping your hands connected to one another is a powerful way to send attention and awareness and healing in your body. You can do this as well with a point in your hands. So you can create a point in whatever way you're able. Maybe not all the fingers are on board, and that's fine. But then you can go to a direct, specific spot in the hand wherever you might feel particular tightness or stiffness or aching in the hands. A beautiful tradition that I love for massage that is part of the Ayurveda and yoga therapy tradition is Abhyanga, self-massage. One of the self-massages that I learned actually from the Banyan Botanicals website is to massage every joint counterclockwise first and then clockwise. So I'm going to go through from my right hand. I want to look at my baby finger and go counterclockwise on the joint there, and then clockwise. And then go to the next joint and rotate the other direction. And the next joint and rotate the other direction. You don't have to press very hard here. It's a very helpful energetic massage as well as a physical massage. So I'm continuing to, just on the other side of the joint, the inside of it, counterclockwise and then clockwise. Counterclockwise and clockwise. If you have just a specific finger or spot that has this going on, you can focus there. But otherwise, you can do this for all of your hands. You could do this for every joint in your whole body if you wanted to. It's lovely to do with oil, but you don't have to have the oil, especially if you have a particular finger or two that needs some extra love and attention right now. You can try and create a habit around doing this massage just for the joints that are really in need right now. I like to wear a lot of rings and jewelry lately, and sometimes I find myself fiddling with them or twisting them, or sometimes one's backwards the way that this one is. So if I'm taking the time to rotate it back into place, that could be a moment where, oh yeah, my hands. And then I would remember to take 30 seconds and just go through in this counterclockwise and then clockwise massage for the joints. Things that remind you to keep this habit are very, very helpful and powerful for you. I find it's not hard to do this massage. What's hard is to remember it and to make it a priority. So taking a habit, something that you already do, and linking it, habit snuggling or habit stacking, the two habits together is a great way to make something actually happen. Now, it's harder if it's one of those shoulds, right? I know I should brush my teeth, but sometimes I have to remember, make myself want to brush my teeth. But other things happen without me even thinking about them automatically throughout the day. For sure, I'm going to drink something during the day, water, tea, etc. If I were to have a whole day where I didn't hydrate myself at all with anything, that would be very, very strange for me. So linking with something that you naturally want to automatically do is really helpful. And then you can think about, when would I also have time to be doing this massage? It could be something that you link with charging your cell phone, plugging something in. It could be even something that you link with being in the bathroom, right? You're sitting down, doing your thing. A lot of people do crossword puzzles when they're in the bathroom. Maybe hand yoga could be your new bathroom activity where you take a moment and do this massage for your hands. Those things that happen without any extra effort, you know for sure you're going to the bathroom every day. You know for sure you're drinking water every day. This massage is really, really healing and beautiful. I think it only took about 5 minutes for me to explain that idea and do that massage for all the joints on both. Did I do both sides? I think so. Even if you lose track, that's fine as well. I'm going to rest my hands down. I hope you will too. Close your eyes and notice the effects. See how it felt to do the counterclockwise and clockwise rotations on your hands. A similar massage that I like to do is for my palm. So I can look at my palm and begin counterclockwise with my fingers, massaging my hand. And then I can go in the other direction. Again, this is wonderful for both my right hand's fingers and my left hand's palm. And then I'll come to the other side, counterclockwise. And clockwise. If it's easier to move your hand, you can do that too. A variation on this that I enjoy a lot is to use my elbow. So I might rest my hand on a pillow in my lap, and then I can stir with my elbow, relaxing the hand. And if that feels good to use as a tool, sometimes your thumbs might be the very thing that are achy. So giving a massage could feel not the best. But if you use your elbow, there's a lot of extra natural strength in there to be able to dig in and give a nice restorative, relaxing massage to either your palm or your fingers. We'll send hands together, palm to palm. I'm going to gently open and close my hands, keeping my palms together. I love this for gliding. It's great for the joints and the webbed spaces in our hands. You'll see if these are challenging. Be patient with yourselves. Remember that you can always picture yourself doing these movements. You'll keep fingertips together and spread open, hollow the palms, and then return. Moving at your own speed, seeing what feels good. And now we'll keep the palms together and separate the fingers. So I'm not separating at the wrist, but just separating at the joint. Again, be patient with yourself. See if you can. If you can't, picture it in your mind's eye and just having your hands touching one another while you picture that. I hope this has been helpful. Please like and subscribe my YouTube channel. Leave a comment, give a thumbs up. If you have a request for a future video, we did arthritis because a lot of people requested it in the comments. put a request for something that you would like to see or learn more about or go deeper in. And if you have any resources that you love, you're welcome to share those in the chat too. I'm Heidi Parkes. This is Hand Yoga. Thank you very much.